Welcome back. In this video, I just wanted to go over some new features recently announced by Wealthsimple. On June 11th, 2025, Wealthsimple held a big event that they said more than 110,000 people were streaming, and they called the event the End of Banking. So I know a lot of people did watch it, but I thought I'd do a quick recap of all the new features that they announced during that live stream. The first thing that they announced was their new checking account. This is basically just a rebrand of their Wealthsimple Cash. It has now changed to Wealthsimple Checking in the app and online. So if you do have an account, you'll already have seen that change. Again, the big draw is no fees. There's no monthly fees. There's no minimum balance fees. There's no ATM fees. They'll actually reimburse you the ATM fees up to $5. There's no e-transfer fees or anything like that. They're going to give you interest on your checking account. Most checking accounts you'll find won't give you any interest, so this is a nice feature. And you can see that depending on how much money you have invested or with Wealthsimple will depend on how much your interest rate will be. So if you have less than $100,000 with Wealthsimple, you'll get 1.75%. If you have between $100,000 and $500,000 with Wealthsimple, you'll get 2.25%. And if you have more than $500,000, you're a generation client and you'll be getting 2.75%. And if you are a generation client, that is slightly higher interest rate than Neo is currently offering at 2.5%. A unique feature is that they do insure your money up to $1 million. Generally, banks will offer CDIC insurance of up to $100,000. So this is a nice feature if you happen to be sitting on a boatload of cash for some reason. Other announcements for the new checking account: you can automate all your deposits. So you can now deposit your paycheck to Wealthsimple. And if you do that, they're going to give you an extra 0.5% interest rate on your account if you have more than $100,000 with them. And you can set it up that on your payday, you can distribute your money into all your different accounts. I know I have a vacation account, a house account, and an education account, and a sports account, and so on. And so on payday, you could set it up so that each of the accounts gets filled with the amount of money you set aside each month. And that goes along with your investment accounts as well. So if you have an investment account with Wealthsimple, you can set it up that on payday, a certain portion. So let's say you want $1,000 per month going in. You can just set it in Wealthsimple's app to have $1,000 go into your investment account, whether it's your TFSA, RRSP, or non-registered. And then you can even set it up so that it'll buy your ETFs or stocks as well. So if you wanted to buy $1,000 worth of XEQT on payday, you can set it up through the app that it'll automatically do that for you. They finally announced mobile checking deposits, so you can now take a picture and deposit a check into your account. They announced that you can now order bank drafts right from the app. If you need a bank draft, you can go into the app, you can ask for one, and they will deliver it to you by the next day. They also announced that there's going to be international wire transfers, and I believe that's through a company called Wise. And one of the features that I'm most excited about is the e-transfer limit up to $25,000. So most banks, because of security reasons, will only allow you to e-transfer between $2,500 or $5,000. And I know this was a big pain in the butt for us when we were purchasing a new vehicle. We had to distribute money into our Neo account, Simply account, and EQ bank account, and we had to send 3 different e-transfers so that we could purchase this vehicle. But with Wealthsimple's new announcement, there's going to be a slider, and you can keep that at $2,500 for security purposes as your maximum e-transfer limit. But then if you need a larger sum, you can just slide that up to $25,000, send your money, and then put it back to that $2,500 or $3,000 or whatever you want for security purposes. They're also going to have something called Trusted Places and Trusted People. And so if you were to send money from one of your trusted places or to one of your trusted people, you can send money, click a button, and boom, it's done. No verification process involved at all. But if you're outside of your trusted place, or you're sending money to a non-trusted person, then you have to go through the verification process still. And one thing that I did forget to mention with the mobile check deposit is that you will have access to all of the funds right away. I know that with most banks, if you take a picture of your check and you deposit it into your app, you probably have access to about $500 or whatever your holding limit is. And then after 3 to 5 business days, you'll have access to the rest. But with Wealthsimple's checking account, you take a picture of a $10,000 check and boom, you have access to $10,000 right away. A neat feature with their direct deposit is that if you have your paycheck deposited into your Wealthsimple checking account, they actually said you could get your paycheck 1 to 4 business days earlier than usual. And the last thing they announced for the checking account was a USD checking account, and that's going to earn you interest up to, again, if you're a generational client, 4% interest. And EQ Bank has a USD account that's offering 3%. So that might be enticing to you as well. They did spend most of the time talking about the checking account, but the other big announcement was their Wealthsimple Visa. Now, this has been in beta for a little while now, but it sounds like they're going to make it readily available to more people or everybody if they want. You can join the waitlist on their website here. The nice feature about this card is that you do get 2% cash back on everything. And that cash back every month just gets deposited into your checking account. The other nice thing is that they are saying that it's no annual fee, but again, you have to have $100,000 with Wealthsimple in order to get that no annual fee. If you do have below $100,000, they're going to charge you $10 per month for the card. One thing that is really nice for us is that there is no foreign exchange fees. We do have a no foreign exchange fee card, but it does not offer any benefits if you spend it in a country other than Canada, whereas the Wealthsimple Visa will now give you the 2% cash back on foreign exchange as well. They made this seem out to be a bigger deal than I think it should be, but if you are a generational client, then you get a metal card. Now, some really nice features. The big one is no tap limit. I know with some of our credit cards, I tap with my phone and I can only tap to a maximum of $250. So if I buy something for, say, $400, I generally try to break that up and I ask them to put it into 2 pieces of $200 and I have to tap twice. Whereas the Wealthsimple Visa will be no tap limit. You can tap as much as you want. And again, because of the ecosystem of Wealthsimple, where everything is tied together, you can pay on some automated schedule. So you can tell it that on your payday, you can pay the entire card off no matter what the balance is, or you can put a partial amount on it or whatever you want. You can be as flexible as you want with your payments. And one nice feature is when you pay your credit card, your balance actually updates immediately. I know with our credit cards, when you pay or you think you pay it off, you don't find out for 3 to 5 business days whether you paid it off in full or not. There might be some pending charges in there or whatever. So it's nice that if I put $1,000 on my credit card, boom, my balance gets updated on the credit card. One common complaint about the card in the comments section during this event was that it is a Visa. And although Costco shoppers out there were pretty disappointed because you can't use this card, you can only use MasterCards at Canadian Costco locations. Now, I will have a full review of this card when it does come out of beta. I'm not entirely sure which features they're going to keep and which they're going to replace, and so I'll hold off on that review for right now. So those were the 2 big announcements at this end of banking event. There were 2 others, one of which they called the Wealthsimple Instant Line of Credit. This is a neat feature in which every client gets access to a line of credit, or a loan, if you will. It is instantaneous, so there's no need to fill out any forms. There's no need for an approval process or anything like that. The money is just yours. The amount of money that you can borrow depends on how much you have with Wealthsimple. They didn't ever say what that amount was, whether it's 10% of what you have with them, 50%, maybe it's 100%. So if you have $100,000 with Wealthsimple, maybe you can borrow $100,000. I'm not sure, they didn't say. But what they did show was that in your app, you can just go to accounts and click on line of credit. And there you can just use a slider to determine how much money you want to borrow. And instantaneously, without any paperwork or anything, that money gets deposited into your checking account. The interest rate on it was 4.45% as of the announcement. And that currently is prime minus 0.5. So that's a very low interest rate. So they've made borrowing very easy and very cheap. And I mean, there's pros and cons to that for sure. We'll see how that all plays out. And the final thing that they announced was what they called bringing the bank to you. And what they meant by this was they introduced bank drafts. And you can ask for a bank draft from the app and they will deliver it to you by the next business day. If you need a check, then you can write the check on the app as well. And what happens is Wealthsimple will deliver that check for you. So if your landlord, if you're renting, requires your rent in a check form still, you can write that check on your app and Wealthsimple will deliver it to your landlord by the next business day. And if you need cash and you don't want to go to an ATM and take that money out, then you can ask for cash in the app and they would deliver that cash to you within moments, is what they said. They're going to roll that out in the Toronto area first in the fall, and then they have plans to expand that to other cities in Canada. You can get that cash delivered in either Canadian currency or US currency. And that's what they mean by bringing the bank to you, I guess, is that they will be delivering those bank services for you rather than you going to a bank. One of the big reasons people like to stay with the traditional banks is the human interaction. And so they've now announced 24-hour phone help 7 days a week. I've already used this. It's a fantastic feature. I just made a call at a random hour on a weekend. I got through to a human. I was able to talk through my issue and my concerns. It was a fantastic experience. So those were the big announcements made at that event. I hope this summary was informative. Wealthsimple continues to innovate, get bigger. I mean, it's getting harder and harder and harder to not keep all of my money with them. I know I have money spread out in different banks and different investment brokerages, but they're getting better and better and better. They do have another big announcement in the fall dealing with their investment platform, and so I'll probably have another little summary of that when it comes out. Again, I hope this video has shown you what Wealthsimple is bringing out in the near future here. And if you've enjoyed this video and would like to stay informed of some of my other ones, please subscribe below. Have a wonderful day.